Hello Sandboxes, how are you all? I hope you're great. Apologies for the delay on issuing another tutorial. Life is very busy for me lately. I thought having a kid would remove all my free time for Sandbox, but I was completely wrong. Deeply apologies for not being able of maintaining the frequency of updates and tutorials and things like that. It's giving me a lot of anxiety thinking about it, so I really apologize. Trying my best with this, but you know, guys, real life. And now that version 10 is out, I'll also have to try to get time to continue this. Again, as always, thanks for your support on Patreon and on Discord, and for your patience, guys, and thanks for your kind words and all your great messages for support and your good wishes. Let's continue with another tutorial. This is role expressions, advanced role expressions, or role expressions 2. So let's get into it. In our previous tutorial, we looked at the basic expressions for your roles. Now we're gonna go a little bit ahead and we're gonna look at some more complicated roles. Remember that we created this test actor to look at the previous roles, and we're using this str property, which is rollable, and we're going to continue. So what are we going to be talking about today? So the first and very common one, commonly used, is this one. This is an expression that is mostly used when we want to display a sentence with our role. Okay, so imagine the typical PBTA game where you roll 2d6, yeah, and you want to display fail, partial success, or a complete success, yeah, for PBTAs. So how would we do it? How would we do that? So that's easy. So this expression always needs a first argument, and after that it needs what to display for each range of the results. So the first argument could accept two things: either the word total, which in this case would look at the 2d6 results, and then we're going to tell the expressions what do we want to display, what word we want to display with each result, in a very similar manner to the percentage expression. So in this case would be from 0 onwards would be fail, from 7 to 9, which is partial success, and from 10 onwards is going to be success. Okay, so let me copy these in here and let's try to roll from here. Let's see what happens. Do I have dice for nice? Yeah, okay. We roll STR, you see 6-1 is a 7, we get partial. See, it works perfectly. So you can see here at the bottom of the roll how this sentence appear. Now, you're not only limited to use total. You could also use any property, okay? And you're not only limited to only one expression of this type. You can chain them, you can concatenate them, yeah? For example, I'm going to use another one, and it's going to look at another property. Let's say, I don't know, for this example, let's say we use strength itself. Yeah, let's use strength itself. So as you know, we reference properties with @ str is the key for this property, and we want to, from 0 onwards, we would say what can we say? minus strength high, no sorry, strength low, and if the strength is over 10, we're gonna say strength is high, sorry, str high. Let me do this way, I think, because maybe you'll have better visibility of this way. Okay, you see, so basically what I'm doing here is concatenating two of these expressions, so I can have two so it returns two words, well, two sentences, yeah. So let me copy and paste the expression in the roll formula field. We roll the dice and we see, whoa, that was, whoa, yeah, my luck. So as you can see, fail, of course, and the second parameter is strength low because our strength is under 10. So if we say strength 13, we click to roll, and there you got it, strength high here, down here, yeah? It is a very useful expression. This is, I think, one of the most used for any system, because it's always very helpful to have a descriptive sentence or word under the roll. Okay, let's continue. So this is basically most of this expression. Let's go to the next one. And the next expression is an expression that a lot of people gets very confused using. It is one of these advanced ones, which is the dollar expression. So sometimes it is very useful to have sub-roles or little arithmetic expressions to get resolved, yeah, to get executed and stored in values, in variables. So the dollar expression does that. And how does it do that? So it has two arguments separated by a semicolon. The first one is the number of the variable, so I'm going to call this variable 1, so variable 1, and this variable is going to hold an expression that is going to be strength minus 5. Okay, so how do I use that variable? How do I return its value? So I just need to write $1 being the second digit, the second number, the second character being the number written in the first argument. So if I name this one 2, this should be 2. Try to have them sorted by order, okay? Try to keep them in mind for the same roll expressions and memorize them. So try not to start with a 4, okay? If this is going to be the first variable, try to keep them in order, yeah? There is no specific reason for that, just in case, yeah? I haven't tested exhaustively with other numbers starting or with decreasing order. Okay, so let's copy and paste that here. So this should return strength, which right now is 13 minus 5. We should return an 8. There it is. There's the 8. Yeah, you can see it down here. Fantastic. So the second, so the variable itself can be anything. It can even be a roll, but if you store a roll here, it is not going to be displayed. Yeah. So you won't know what you've rolled, because if you use this in combination with dice on ice is not going to display anything. So if I include here a 1d6, yeah, there you have it. The result is 4, so we click again, 4, we click again, the result is 6. You see, so it rolls a 1d6, but you won't see it from dice on ice. This is intentional, okay? Because if you want to see the roll, you need to use another expression. Okay, so, and you can have as many variables, dollar variables, as you want, okay? There is no limit in the number of them. Now, the next thing that we're going to be talking about is the extended if cases. So remember that in our previous tutorial we talked about the if expression, yeah, and the if expression checks a property, okay, against a value that needs to be normally a text, okay, or a string, because if is designed for comparison of booleans or strings, or a string or a boolean, yeah, and depending on if it's true, it returns something, value of true, and if it's false, it returns something else. We looked at this in our previous tutorial. Now there are other things you can do with the if. There's an extra bit of things you can do. Let's look at that. So imagine that we need to check on strength. So we're going to be using it in conjunction with the dollar expression. So what we're going to do is yeah, let's do this. This is going to be cool. So depending on the value of strength, we want the dollar to store true or false. Okay, how can we do that? Let's use the percentage expression, and we tell the percentage that we're going to look at the strength property, and if the value is 0 or higher, it is going to return false, but if it's 10 or higher, is going to return true. Okay, so in our if, we're going to look at the following. We're going to look at variable 1, and if the value is true, we're going to return 1, and if the value is false, we're going to return 2. So this is the final element of the role, of course, and it always needs to be a number. Remember, it's very important. Roles only return numbers, yeah? Only. The only place where a role returns a text or strings or a sentence is with the double and expression. So with this expression, yeah, that we've used, with nothing else. Okay, so now if we use this expression here, strength needs to return, as strength is higher than 10, it's going to return 1. There it is. So if strength is 9 and we click on strength, it returns 2. Yeah, so we combine those two expressions. Now I was talking about advanced use of if. Now we can use the expression, the term and, okay, and we can combine two comparisons. So we're going to compare if the variable 1 is true, and if this property here, the test list, yeah, is equal to the first strength, str, that's it. Okay, so I want to check if test list, which is this property, list box property here, is equal to str. Okay, so if both comparisons are true, we're going to return 1, and if not, we're going to return 2. Now the way it is right now, it is going to return 2 because it's false, because it is this strength is not higher than 10. So if we make strength higher than 10, and now we return 1 because test list is str and strength is higher than 10. But now again, if I change test list to dex and roll again, we return a wait a second. This shouldn't be working. Okay, another video to edit. That's fantastic. What if I say text? No, because it's true. Wait a second. Oh my gosh, guys, I didn't even copy paste this in here. Oh my god, I mean, sorry guys, let's test this again. Okay, so if both are true, which means strength over 10 and test list equal to strength, we should return 1. There it is, return 1. If any of them is not true, we return 2. That's it. Okay, sorry, I was panicking there for a moment. I just didn't copy the formula into the property. Oh, my back. Okay, let's continue. Now we also have the other advanced if term, which is option, which is OR, which checks if one of those two is true, is going to return the true value 1. So right now strength is over 10, so is enough for it to return 1. So if I click str, I know, of course, again Sergaras, man, dude, you need to copy the formulas in down here, up here. So if I click str, or I know we need a space here. We click str, there you go. We return a 1. You see, in a space here. We return a 1 because if only one of them is true, then it's going to return the true value, which is 1. Now, if test list is not str, which is not str, and neither variable 1, which is based on strength, not over 10, it should return 2. There you go. Okay. There is also another case where you can use else to nest an extra if inside. I'm going to be very honest with you. I haven't tested this in ages. Okay. And last time there were a couple of bugs that I'm not very confident with them, but let's test it right now. So if let's create a second variable, okay, that is going to be number 2. And it's going to check on the value of intelligence. Yeah, it's going to do the same. Now else if the second if is else if the second variable is equal to false, we're going to return 3, and if not, we're going to return 4. So what we're doing here, let me explain this in a better way. So basically the else expression, the else option for the if expression lets you include an extra if inside the false return. Now it's saying that if strength is not higher than 10 and test list is not str, then we're going to check something else. We're going to check if intelligence is over 10 or not. Yeah, let's do this. If it's not over 10, we're going to return 4. If it is over 10, we're going to return 3. Let's see if this works. Again, I'm not very confident on this, but it works. Okay, that's fantastic. Because I haven't checked the code of these else things in a long time. So as you can see, if the intelligence thing is over 10 is true, but as it's not over 10 is false, and we return false, so it's 3. Okay, so now if we go over 10 and we roll str, we should return 4. That's it. Okay, so that's the advanced use of if. Test it, and again, if you have any problems, there's a lot of people on the Discord that can help you. Yeah, let's continue with the role expressions, advanced role expressions, sorry. Now remember we talked about role IDs, which is this thing here in the box, but you can always add way more role IDs, a lot of role IDs. Yeah, so you can add them with this. Oh no, I shouldn't have done that. We can add them with this expression and the role ID here in the middle. Why do we do this? because a lot of people ask about the usage of this. Oops, what happened here? Oh, it's got crazy, man. Okay, why do we use it? I'll explain now. So you remember that we had a look at C items that had role modifiers, role mods. Yes, I don't know if here it is, bonus to strength rolls. So we talked about this. There's the role mod that adds a modifier to a role that has a specific role ID. Yeah, so in this case, let's remember about this. So if I change strength to 1d6 and I add these bonus strength rolls to our friend here, just to refresh your memory, so it means that every roll with the ID strength, and remember the ID is here, is going to be added to a 2, okay, plus 2. So if I roll STR 1d6 plus 2, whoa, what is happening here? Only if the strength is 10. Sorry, let me remove this and re-add it again. Sorry for this improvisation, I'm just trying to explain better. So now 1 plus 2 is 3. It didn't work right now because we had a conditional here. I just removed it so it always applies. Now let's assume that this C item, let's remove it from the actor, does not act. This bonus is only for a specific ID that is test ID. Okay, so if I add again the bonus to strength rolls, and if I roll strength, this 5 stays a 5 because the strength roll does not have that ID. But I can add it if I add this to the end of the roll. So I add it to the end of the roll, and this roll not only is going to have the strength ID, it's also going to have the test ID, roll ID. So now if I roll strength, you see that it adds the 2 because this roll has the test ID added. Okay? And you might be asking, why is this useful? Why is this useful? Okay, because maybe you have a roll from a C item, athleticism, sorry, or athletics. Yeah, because I've received a couple of comments about my English. Sorry guys, it's not my native language, sometimes I make mistakes. So athletics, yes. So let's imagine that the athletics role that we had in here which is in the role skill for the properties, role properties for the C item. Where did I store this? Where did I store this? Man, skill role here. There you go. Now imagine that how can I explain this specific use case? So let me remove athletics from here. Now role formula is okay. So imagine that this skill role, this athletics skill role, we wanted to have a specific role ID. Yeah, and we are going to include it. We have an attribute, a property in the group here, skill group, that's it, that is a skill key. Okay, so the skill group has a number of properties. One of them is the skill key and the other one is the skill role. What we want is this C item skill role to have a role ID similar to the skill key. For that, what we're going to do is just the following. Oops, sorry, that's it. What's the key for this? Skill key, that's it. Okay, so we're going to add this to the end of the role, yeah, which is going to be 1d6. Okay, so what are we doing with this? Let's refresh this. Let's start over, okay? Because I know this can be confusing. The usage of this, the main functionality, the main objective of this is every time that I have a C item that has a property that is rollable, that I want to roll, I want that role to have a specific role ID, so I can modify it with specific C items. In this case, I want to modify that role from the athletics role that I'm going to call athletics. Okay, I want my bonus to strength role only to modify any role that has the athletics role ID, which in this case is any role coming from the athletics C item. Yeah, for that, what I've done is this is the role of the C item, and I've added this one. So I've added this specific role ID. So every time the C item that is bonus to strength role and has this mod reacts and recognizes and identifies a role with that key, is going to add those 2 points. Okay, let me remove the bonus strength to roles, and we open, where is the athletics C item? It should be in skills. Yeah, athletics here. Now if I added the athletics into this and I rolled this, we should roll a 1d6 2 plus the 2 that is being triggered by the C item that modifies every role ID with the athletics key. We have a total of 4. Fantastic, huh? Fantastic. That's the main usage of those role ID expressions. Okay, moving on to the next advanced role expression. Now we're going to almost 30 minutes, and I don't want to be this dense for you guys. I know this can be kind of complicated, so let's use a couple of different role IDs, different role expressions, because I don't like to have these tutorials very long, so I can help you understand them little by little. So okay, let's go to the next expression, which is going to be the specific case of advantage. Okay, all right, so let me go to the strength property and use this specific expression, which adds the role ID ADV. This role ID, together with other 2 specific role IDs, does a very specific thing, which is gives advantage to the role. There you see it. If you use the DIS, does the contrary and gives disadvantage to the role and keeps the 2. Yeah. And finally, now we're going to leave that to the next one. Next tutorial, we're going to see the role expression, the add expression, and those 2 marvelous add set and add self and set self from Alondar, which he's a miracle. He's godsend guy. And we're also going to look at the init expression, and we're going to look at the active and uses and the dialog panels, which is the last one. As always, I'm going to upload the new version of Foundry with some bugs fixed. And thanks everyone for your help, for your support, for being there. Apologies again for the delays on more content. I love you guys. Thanks for the guys I saw the other day on the UK Games Expo. You were amazing for recognizing me. And take care and see you in the next tutorial. Bye.